All right. So I'm just going to set the space here again. And so just go ahead and just say your name.
Brook Lichtenstein.
Okay. And in your right ball, you have your right ball there. Go ahead and say what's your mind's intention.
My intention is to own my creative projects.
Okay. And then what is it that you want to let go of, or what's been coming up that you want to release in your left hand?
I want to release competition energy.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling jealous of others that own their creativity.
Yeah.
And insecurity.
Okay.
For putting myself out there.
Okay, and so how has that shown up?
The comparison?
Yeah, like being jealous, or how's that played out?
It's played out when I look at other people putting themselves out there,
mm-hmm.
and then I will say they have their creativity, I don't have mine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the moment that you see somebody's doing something and they're in their passion, you feel like you may not exist or you don't have anything to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that you separate from yourself. So you can see kind of that position, even in that left side of, here they look amazing and then here I'm alone. Like how is that played out too when you look at your past? When you look at kind of other situations?
I think it's caused in the past separation in friendships,
mm-hmm.
and separation in business deals.
So in a relationship, how did that play out? What happened?
In my past, before I got married and had all of my many babies, I had a lot of trouble dating.
Yeah.
And I had a friend that, manifested the guy and got married and, all these things. And I was literally so jealous I just stopped talking to her. Like, I just completely stopped talking to her.
Yeah.
And later, a year and a half later, I ended up like admitting that in front of like 100 people.
Right.
But at the time, I just was very much in the space of she has it, I don't.
Yeah.
Or really she has it and I won't.
You won't.
I won't.
And so the feeling that came up in that time was what? Like, how did that make you feel when you're not going to have it? When you don't have it? You may never have it.
Like something's wrong with me.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Or
that you may be alone. That you'll be alone.
That I'm alone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so when in your past, even before relationships, did that play out?
Probably as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Just some of the decisions my parents made in relationship to them made me think like, well, I pretty much have to raise myself.
Uh-huh.
I'm alone in this.
You're alone in this. And do you recall, what incident that occurred around that? Or maybe with your siblings of where they seem to have it all and I don't, and where that dynamic played out?
I don't think I have a specific incident. I think it's, as a child, my brother got a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
He was a baby. And also, he was cute. And I think I, had trouble adjusting to having a sibling.
Yeah.
And I made some decisions around comparison.
Uh-huh.
Then.
Yeah. And the comparison was what then? He was cute and I'm not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or they love him, not me.
Yeah, they love him, not me. Yeah.
He matters, I don't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's for me, when I say that that kind of continues on. Now it's more like I'll do that even with someone having more than me. It's like they have more than me because they matter.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know, or even they matter more to God.
Yeah.
Than I matter.
Right.
Like I don't matter even to God.
And because they have more. So God
because they have more.
Because God
and trust me, I have so much, but I still will go to that default. I don't matter.
I don't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the jealousy comes up because you're wanting something and you feel like you don't have it. So you can really see that divide. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know, and even with you saying that, I don't even know if most of my desire or most of my wanting comes from me versus acting out of a space of comparison and finding the lack there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just realizing that now for the first time to say no. I don't know if my desire is self-generated or if it literally comes from that default comparison picture and I go, oh, I want that because they have so much. I don't have it, and then go through all that dynamic and finally get it after fighting for it, like, you know, crazy.
And
that's interesting.
Yeah, well, and two, it's like when you look at even the sessions we did on having a relationship, when you didn't have relationship for those years,
yes.
And then you get relationship and you have all of this stuff, and then can you really have it, recognize it, and celebrate it, or do you go on to the next thing? When you're looking at someone, like they may have a career in their passion, and then that's what you want because you don't have it. Like
exactly. Mm-hmm. That makes me very sad that we're actually saying this because I don't think I've ever looked at it like that. Because I've operated like this my whole life. Okay, what's next? What do I need to get next?
Yeah.
Versus,
yeah. What does your heart want? What does your heart want?
What is my
What does my heart want?
I know for a fact my heart wanted my babies and my husband.
Yeah.
And when I see other people in their passion, I'm like, oh, I better create this project. I better do this. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if those things are me.
Yeah.
And that's maybe why in the career area, I can do a lot of different things, but I've always kind of had trouble because I don't know if it's coming from my heart. I'm moving out of a comparison space.
That's right. You're creating out of a comparison space.
I was.
Yeah. And really where, when you look at this dynamic, and I just want to say and validate you as far as owning the jealousy, because in order to really even change what you create, but it's not just what you create because, partly what you create is what everyone else creates too. And how we're all kind of in this dynamic, of looking outside of ourselves and looking at others. And then us feeling like we don't have something, so we have to strive to make more money, to have that family, to have these things that our mind thinks we should have. When, I invite you now to really, let's look at, to see the position. All right, understanding the position that you've really created from not having or lack, or, somebody having it, I don't, so therefore I want it, and then it takes you on that path of really owning it and finding it. And so we want to create in a new way now.
Right.
We really want spirit to fully come in for you to spontaneously have something come through, and where your creations are just happening without kind of that element. And here's why you called. It's kind of like, I don't want to be jealous. It's kind of like you were even saying, oh, I saw you on video and I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah.
Because you're my sister. Because you're my sister.
Right. That's weird.
But I think in really owning that position and how I create, it's going to help a lot of other women, because how many of us have this come up with us, if we can be really honest?
And that comparison picture is like a cancer.
Yeah.
It just can eat away everything. And I guess I'm feeling a little emotional now because I didn't realize like how much I've created out of this comparison space. It's like, oh man. Yeah. It just seems pretty sad, I think.
Well, and I think it's something wonderful to celebrate right now. And, and if we can, have that exchange, even holding your hands in the heart or crossing in the heart of, to even see that and be able to see it and to really let go of like, that's something that you didn't want is why you called me. And to be honest of, okay, but I'm watching myself go into this space, but I want to be with my sisters, with all females, and really creating and moving, with them connected and in an exchange where we're all celebrating our gifts.
Yeah.
And, and that takes courage to even do it because most people won't admit to that because it's something we all want to hide, and we usually come down to that feeling of being isolated and alone. And so let's unify. This was the mind creating this. And so, you know what? We've learned a lot about creating in this way. And, you've been a client for, I don't know how many years.
Like 9.
And you've really, I have to validate that everything that was a pain or that you wanted to change, you really transformed it in every way. So it did bring you on a path of transforming, of not having something like family and relationship, and even in the career stuff that you have done, into creating something, to really creating it. So we validate the mind. We validate how the mind has split our energy. And so let's use kind of the heart exchange method, the one method, into really unifying it. And now really, Brooke, you creating from the whole. So in your right hand again, say your intention and just focus on that ball in the right hand.
My intention is to own my creative projects.
Yeah. And
to create in a new way.
Right. And so I want you to just hold that position for a moment and connect with that position and then start to bring it into the heart. Like really cross and connect and just loop that into the heart. So where we're, we want to create a new way. You want to bring your passion and that creative spirit through and move through you in a new way. And however the mind thinks that should happen, because you've talked about, well, you're creating a whole new movement, a whole new dance space, a whole miracle space. And the questions earlier that came up were, how do I do that? And we're just saying hello of where the moment you take a position, I want you to grab that energy of that position you take and move it into the heart to collapse it and make it into pure energy. Because if you take a position even of what you want, then you're going to get it into a conflict with yourself of what shows up of what you don't want. Now for a moment, just say here what you want to let go of. What came up in the session that you want to let go of?
I want to let go of comparison, jealousy, and insecurity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And just see this position and say hello to how you've played out this position. Hello to where you've been jealous, insecure, and see that it was only a position that you played out. And isn't it interesting, Brooke? It's kind of like when you take that position, you make someone even around you elevated and you are lowered. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Then you only see the people that seem to own their information and then you don't. And so let's just loop that into the heart and bring all those positions of lack, of insecurity, of jealousy, where other people have it and I don't, and just collapse it into the heart. And then I want you to create that exchange in the heart and focus on the breath and really breathe into the heart. So now we exhale as we move out into what we want, and we bring that into the heart and we move into what we don't want. And where one begins, the other one ends. And as we create this circuit, as we create this flow, notice here that your energy and your attention are on the heart. I want you to imagine the X in the heart of that is where your focus is. it's not really on, I want to have this amazing thing, and everyone else does, and then I don't. And keep it in the heart where it creates this fluidity and this movement. And then I want you to unify the two by moving the hands out into the infinity loop and crossing them in the heart. Now, here's where we're going to change the brain. Because can we agree that what you've created from this point, was from the brain? It's how the brain creates in duality. And how we change the brain is we reprogram it. We rewire it. Now, I want to point out here, when the hands come and create this exchange, it's where the energy of the corpus callosum, which connects the right and left brain, where when we create the exchange, it brings it into a cancellation point, into the 0 point, so we have no mind. Like, we first go into the process of identifying position, we see how we've played it out in time, and now focus on the heart and really of this energy of exchanging, of canceling the negative and positive out. Yeah. Now what I'm looking at is this, Brooke. As I'm looking at you and your energy, I'm lighting up your timeline, and we're going back to every single girl you were jealous of, maybe because she had a marriage and you didn't, or a boyfriend. And we're really grabbing that energy and bringing it back into the heart so you have more energy in your space. And when you look at somebody that even has their passion, that we validate their creation and their energy, because it is a reflection of us. It's a reflection of spirit. What do you want to create in me? Spirit, how do you want to move through me? And just start to feel that space. Yeah. Now, what does that feel like when you focus on the heart, when you have that exchange in the heart? And really where the mind cannot stop into holding and attaching to what you want, or it doesn't hold on to this jealousy, but more where it takes the position of the exchange of both energies, where there's no mind. How does that feel?
It feels like there's flow and love and unity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now really, to bring something new in, I want you to take the left hand and take all that jealousy from maybe where you've been the victim or the victimizer, in a sense of where you felt jealous, or where, you've had the experience of others feeling jealous of you too.
Yeah.
And how has that felt when other people see what you've created, even these last few years, all the amazing things that you've created and that we've created, and your friends have been jealous? How have you felt?
Separate.
Mm-hmm. It's very isolating. So for all females, for all people, let's just pull the energy of jealousy and put it in that left ball. And then I want you to just really drop it. Just drop it on your lap. There goes my ball. And just let it go. And start to move that left hand down into the planet and just really release it out of the body. Just let it go. Yeah. And then take the right hand of really bringing, it's kind of like this creativity, your purpose, your energy, your passion, and just moving it down to the ground to really get connected with the earth. And really giving all your energy and your creativity to the earth, and the earth brings it back into you. And then just bring both hands. Create a circuit where both hands move down into the earth, and that you fill back up with the earth's energy. Yeah. That looks good. Now I want you to take your right hand and just connect it up to a star in the sky. Really connect up and hand over and create a circuit then. It's like, okay, star, okay, source, okay, the light. I want to hand over, where I'm giving my energy to you, and I want you to fill me up with your spirit, with your light, so it can move through me in a unique way. And That's your intention, what you're handing over. And then on the left side, where we hand over any jealousy, any energy of where we feel separate, where we feel like others are, they have and we don't have. And then create that circuit, moving that up and bringing it in the heart. Yeah, that looks good. Now, here's where I want you to create a figure 8. So the hands go up, and we're pulling the magnetic field of the sun in, and we cross it in the heart, and we're moving down into the planet and bringing up the magnetic field of the planet, and we cross it over into the heart. So this figure 8 then, can you feel that? Like really feel where it exchanges, where we bring in the light energy, and then we bring it down into the planet, that earth energy, and we bring it up. And really focus just on the X in the heart and see how that feels. How does that feel?
Great.
Is there any mind in this space?
No.
Now let's just ask the heart. Heart, what do you want to create? Ask the heart.
Heart, what do you want to create?
Heart, I am betting my attention and energy on you. I'm placing it on you. I am giving you my attention, my energy. And when you say that to your heart and see how your heart responds.
So, my heart wants to have another baby. But I don't.
Well, say hello to your heart, even cross your heart. Say hello to your heart. Just say hello, heart.
Hello, heart.
And say, heart, I am putting my attention and energy on you.
I'm putting my attention and energy on you.
Now, instead of thinking of the other person, of where they are creating so much, you speak to your heart, saying, heart, I am giving my energy to you, and you create what you want to create.
Heart, I'm giving my attention to you, and you create what you want to create.
I'm opening up to the wisdom of my heart so that the spirit can come through and create through me. This is your position. You're not focused on anyone else except for the heart. Imagine that the heart is like a person. Like, here it is. Now, when you're focused on this X, can you feel it in the heart?
Yes.
How does your heart feel?
Full.
It feels full.
And open.
Yeah. Yeah. So I invite you to really be in relationship with the heart, speaking to it. All right, heart, this is about communication. What do we want to create today? You want your passion? We know that you love dance, that you love spirit, that you can bring in spirit. All right, heart, let me feel that music. Let me bring in here, a rhythm that can join all women, that can join all people in this dance. Like, I'm giving it to you. I'm dancing to you. You are dancing to your heart. You are dancing for your heart. And for all hearts in humanity to join in this dance. And that is your gift.